In this video, I will discuss how I made all these DIY tabletop Christmas tree decorations. So I'm going to discuss and explain to you the procedure how I made all these, starting from the shortest one up to the tallest one. Now, the shortest two are very similar in design. Now, you can use various types of wood or any type of wood that you've got to your disposal. So for the first two, I did actually use plywood. This is shutter ply, so it's very cheap plywood. This is basically just a triangle that was cut out from a piece of the plywood. Two holes drilled, different sizes in my case, with a circular saw, a bit off center on the sides, so it's open on the sides. I then only drilled two little holes and hung two Christmas decorations in those two holes. At the bottom side, you'll see that there is one of a bigger cut out of a circle, obviously not one of these two, bigger than these two circles, of a piece of plywood, also cut the one side flat so that it can be mounted against the upright. And in the top side, I drilled only a sunk hole the size of a teacup candle or a tea candle to fit in there very nicely. And this can be then lit, making a nice table display looking very versatile. Now, for the second tallest one, the only reason this one is a slight bit taller is because the foot piece is put underneath the triangle of the tree as a complete foot piece. So this is a complete circle as well, not a cut flat one on one side. And then one hole cut in the middle with one Christmas decoration. For finishes, the first one was a light stain. You can do this in any color or you can paint it, whatever. And the second one finishes is a burnt effect with a little blowtorch, only gave it a slight burn effect there. Third one again, this is a very simple design, very easy to make. I took some pieces, this is all made of reclaimed pallet wood. Now I only took the pallet wood in strips, cut them various lengths, and then only at a 30-degree angle cut edges on all of them, making them smaller as I go upwards up till the sharp point on top. And then at the bottom, two pieces of flat plywood, not plywood, it's just pallet wood, the one shorter than the other one, also with a sunken hole cut in the top one for a candle, once again a teacup candle. And then this was only stuck against the upright with two screws and some wood glue, similar to the smaller one that I made. Once again, you can light this. You can put a little decoration on it if you want to, even some Christmas lights would be fine and look very nice. Next one, these are the two most common or the mostly found designs. It's basically a piece of reclaimed pallet wood as well. Now, the width or the thickness of the pallet wood, I only ripped them in half with my table saw. So it's a thinner one. Cut some 30-degree angles in the edges so it makes a sharp point. And then only stuck them inside each other all the way to the bottom with one foot piece. Once again, a smaller piece or a shorter piece in the middle where I put in a countersunk hole for a teacup candle like that. On this one is stained a very dark ebony color. And on top of it, I just hook a little Christmas decoration like that just to give it some color. If you light the candle, it lights up very nicely against the dark background. It does look very nice. Now, a similar one to this is probably the most common one that you've seen many places. Very similar design to this one, but instead of 30-degree angles, this is 60-degree angles, making a bit more of a fat tree, if you want to call it that, or a wider angle tree. Similar design, two on top, put them on the inside. What's nice about these is all the cuts are mostly the same. I mean, these two bottom ones, these two middle ones, and this top one are basically the same size. This one is only the thickness of this plank longer than the others so that it can make up for the joint on top. And then one piece at the bottom, a foot piece underneath, and once again, just a hole sunk in the bottom foot piece or in the bottom part of the tree for a teacup candle. Once again, looks very nice when it's lit up. This is a very common one. You've probably seen this one so many times as people built them. Very popular. While I'm talking about the candles in a bit more darker environment, I quickly want to show you how nice they do look when they are lit, to give you the complete effect of the little candles on these trees and how nice they actually do present. Now, these are normal, like I said, teacup candles or tea candles, depending on where you're from and what you wish to call them. And like you can see, they do give a nice warm glowing effect over the Christmas season on the trees like this. Now, obviously, you do have to be careful when working with fire or lighting these candles and in which environment you do them. You do not wish to light them directly underneath something that's too close to the flame that can get lit or damaged by the fire or the flame, or any decorations hanging close to them as well, which can also be very dangerous. So please do be very careful when working with them. But in a scenario like this, where it's nicely open displayed in a ventilated area where it's not too closed and cramped, they work pretty well. Also, do be careful for anyone sitting close to them, especially minors or children, that they do not get burnt or hurt with these candles. But in order to create a nice atmosphere, this does present very well. Like you can see with all of them here, they give this nice glowing warm effect, even with all the different shades and finishes of the different colors of trees and the sizes. Now coming to the bit more taller ones, a very similar design to the previous one that I just showed you, but a slight bit different. Now this is more of a story effect. It's made from plywood, this one as well. Now this one has got a foot piece, three pieces of plywood, a longer one, two uprights, and then from there on you will see the design, which is very simple. It is basically a bottom piece with 30-degree angles up, or 60-degree angles, my apologies, and then as you go upwards, they just become smaller, all the way to the top. You can start from the top and work your way down, which is easier just to make the small triangle that you see on top here, and then only put slightly inwards two angled. These angles once again are all the same size, only the top one here is slight bit longer on the one side, which is once again the thickness of the wood to compensate for that top corner, and then a flat bottom piece between each layer, which makes this very nice for stacking. You can put small little Christmas decorations or gifts in here if you do wish. The only thing that extra was done was at the back there was a thin piece of plywood stuck on the back for a background, which makes it look very nice. This is a very good Christmas decoration. It's somewhat different, not all that common to be seen, and it does look very nice. You can put some lights and so on this one as well. Now, the last or the tallest one of the lot is this one. This is probably one of the simplest ones to build as well. You can decorate it like I did on top here. This is a Christmas star made simply with some toilet paper rolls, and the one end of the roll was just pinched flat, stapled together, and then they were all put together with a hole in the middle with a piece of string. I then just put a S hook at the back, which you can make from a piece of binding wire or a paper clip, anything of the sort, and hung it on top. Coming back to the tree, this once again is made with reclaimed pallet wood, but you can make this with picket fencing as well. The one side is painted like it was painted before, so this is not treated or anything of the sort. This is just the way the wood came, and it was just cut to size. Now obviously this is flat on the one side if you look at one piece, and then 45 degrees cut on the other side. Now as you start from the bottom, obviously the one length that you choose is only longer the width of the piece of wood than the one opposing it, like this, so you can make a level triangle. And then at the bottom I only put in a normal triangle just to fill the hole there, make it look a bit more complete. And then every triangle from there on upwards is only 2 centimeters, or about an inch, a bit less than an inch shorter than the previous one, giving that taper upward effect. And then at the back they are simply joined together with an upright piece of the same wood, which is very simple to make. This is probably the simplest one to put together. And the foot piece, like you can see, is very simple. On the upright, there's only 2 longer pieces, top and bottom of it, and on the 2 sides, 2 shorter pieces of wood that are screwed together and glued, and this makes this stand very sturdy. And once again, like I did, you can put some decorations on there, like in my case, a little Christmas star. You can put some lights on it, whichever you prefer, whatever type of decorations you do like. Very easy to build, and it displays very nicely. Now all these projects, all these little trees, can be made from any type of wood. Like you see, I've used some reclaimed pallet woods, I've used some pine wood in between, I've used some plywood even, and it's all pieces of scrap wood that I had laying around, so it's all small pieces that made these lovely decorations. You can also decorate them or stain them in any color that you like. This one, for instance, it was a brush color, or brush on white, to give a more snow effect. So it looks like this tree is almost snow topped, if you want to call it that. And you can stain or paint them in any color. You can make them red or green, or red and green, depending on whichever Christmas colors you do like. Now, if you do like these projects and these little trees, be sure to like the video and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so yet. Also, if you do wish to support my channel, please have a look at the super thanks icon down below as well. So until next time, guys, Merry Christmas coming up, and I'll see you next time.